Good morning, everybody. Just gonna give everyone some time to get notified that I'm live because this always a delay. So let me give some of y'all some time. Good morning, grand rising to everybody. Blessing Psalms 146. How are you today? How are you today? It's overcast and rainy over here, so it's not very. Good morning, Big Rooster. Good morning, she said. Renaissance Grandma. Good morning to everybody. It is a gray, overcast, rainy a day again. It's getting on my nerves. Good morning, badass. Good to see you. Long time I haven't seen you. Or maybe you've been in the bushes hiding. It's just a crappy looking day. I'm trying to amp myself up, but can't complain otherwise. Well, I have a little bit of a stomach bug, but yesterday I wasn't feeling too well. My stomach wasn't right in the evening, and I was fighting a headache. And then I was in most of the lives last night, but I was in the lives from my bed. Just was like, nah. So finally, I got up and I said, you know what? Let me have a shot of wine, some red wine. So I opened the bottle that someone had given me that's been here for a minute. I'm not too bad, not too bad, Andrea, not too bad. So I had a shot of wine within 20, 30 minutes. Whatever bug was bothering me was like gone. So I had another shot of the wine this morning. Yeah, for breakfast. Not even breakfast, just a shot of wine. And literally, yeah, whatever's bugging my stomach it's been settled. So a little bit of wine for the stomach's sake is in the scripture, and trust me, it worked almost immediately. Because I don't want to take anything. Okay, you do be in the bushes. um, I think you guys may have heard. I only heard recently that there's a recall with the cough syrup. Today's about mishmash of whatever. I'll drop the link. This a mishmash of whatever. Because I'm not feeling my full 100%. So there's a recall, and that's why I was never raised to be like run to the pharmacy and get something. That's not something that we were raised on. Our default was go find the bush in the cupboard, this bush, that bush, Sarah C, go find some, this, that, and go boil some bush and take the bush. Ginger, rosemary, sarsaparilla. Good morning, Lydia. Um, lemongrass, all the bush, what we call you guys herbs. Everything is just bush tea in the Caribbean, and we just mix different bushes, and that was it. And if you still didn't feel good, then maybe your parents would take you to the doctor because you're now living in a first world nation. You go to the doctor, and maybe if they prescribe something, you would get it, and it would depend on the price because we didn't have no coverage. So if it was a good price, or if the pharmacist could give you the generic, then you would get it. But if it was something that the doctor said just let it pass through, you would let it pass through and keep an eye on the person. We never really ran to the pharmacy. And even now, when I go to the pharmacy and see how much cough syrup costs, we this is not medical advice. This is my testimony. Sometimes we would take the cough syrup from somebody else who had a prescription for the cough syrup, allegedly. So if I had a prescription for coughs, I still have some in the fridge from 2020 when I had to get cough syrup for the virus that I got in 2021. Sorry, I got sick in 2021 or 2020, the ending of 21 or 22. I can't remember now. I think it was 22. I got sick. Say less. I still have the cough. I still have the cough syrup in the fridge. If my sibling have cough syrup in the fridge still, me go take that the cough syrup. Not at least that one never made them sick and it's still in the fridge. And if it's not as potent, I'm okay. Good morning, Ms. D and Wellness with Frugal Mama. Yeah, that's what kind of we did. So I know some of us were raised that way as well. Some of you, your parents like went into the field, you found some bush, you found some herbs, you did certain things, you knew what to do, and we kind of lost that art. But what we're doing now is picking it back up with learning about the herbs, growing our own herbs. Take this seriously. Robitussin, I shouldn't have even said the name. That name, that was typed in the chat, I'm not gonna say the name any further, is a very well-known and a very trustworthy brand. The reason I found on another person's channel on the gram, they said there's some kind of, bacteria or something of that effect in it, and if you're already sick, plus you're immunocompromised, that could be, like, and I know when my elders were getting sick, you're running to get this, that, and the third. Especially we were purchasing, the electrolytes for babies and to give it to them to keep them hydrated. So now we're learning to do our own. Just put some salt, like whatever concoction, there's recipes out there. Um, just be careful. I don't want to put no fear in anybody, but when you're sick and you're thinking, okay, let me go buy this for the elder or the child or for myself, just to get past the worst of it, that's scary. That what you're giving them is putting them more at risk, and they're already not feeling well. So that's a very dangerous thing to be putting somebody in. Lydia, so I have been sick for a few days now, and I went to the ER and ran up a check. And I know there's some kind of bug going around that's not really being talked about. No problem. No. I know you're not yelling. Between you and David, you're not yelling. It's just be careful, just be cautious. It's not a fear mongering. I'm of the mentality that germs are out there. There's nothing we can do about them. It's actually good for us to be exposed because it puts your immune system, allows it to work and for your benefit and to build itself up. If you're always around a sterile environment, that's not good either. But that being said, you use wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. When you're out in public, you don't touch your face, you don't rub your eye, you don't, you make sure your hands are washed and cleaned before you touch your face. Wash your hands before you handle your food. Even me who have chickens, when I come back in my house, you wash your hands, you sanitize quickly because even your own animals, there's stuff that happens. We're not living in fear, but um, hygiene is a very important aspect of it. Uh I keep all my antibiotics and prescriptions. A lot of people nowadays don't know how to treat simple. They don't. They don't. I was having a stomach bug, and that could, if it lingered, because you sometimes you get a little bit diarrhea, this, that, and the third. Depending on your age, that could cause severe dehydration. You don't have a lot of time to be playing around with some simple things. It could be serious. I had a shot of wine, red wine. I'm fine. I could feel whatever was bugging me is gone. So next step for me, 'cause I know my body, I'll check my hydration. I'll make sure I top up on my probiotics today to make sure that, it's good. I'm not going to take charcoal because I don't need to have 5 different things at the same time. And I'll make sure that my iron is up because sometimes when my iron is low, I have these weird feelings. Good morning, Chevy. And did I miss anybody? No. So just I keep my prescriptions. Things have a expiry date. I find that a lot of my friends' children, they're like, "Oh, it's expired, expired." Yeah, it may be expired, but it's still good. It's not as potent, but it can still work. I have never been concerned about expiry dates, even sometimes with food. It's a suggested best before date. If the food is still good, and the amount of preservatives in the food, like really, good luck with that. Yeah, you can type the name of the bug, Andrew, Psalm. Yeah, go ahead. I think somebody can you can type it and then you can just delete it after. And then those who are here can look it up. I think you mentioned it in another chat before. I just can't remember it offhand. Oh, the cold medication. Okay, microbial virus. And I remember when I talked about a recall several months ago, there was uh, a problem with even like the pine sol, virus and those things. So you're cleaning, but you're adding viruses to your home. Like, just be cautious. Too many of these things are happening. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, allegedly, but too much of these things are happening. Some of these things are basic checks and balances of these companies, basic quality assurance, basic things that they need to be doing, and it's not being done. Um, and then with these virus, yeah, this thing going around, find out about it. Inform yourself and take the necessary steps to keep your family healthy. Build your immune system always. Whatever is going on, build your immune system. Proper hygiene, proper nutrition. There's After all that's been happening in the last 5 years, some of the basics can no well, I never avoided it, but people are trying to avoid it. Like, always have this, "Oh, this is the answer. No, that's the answer. No, this is the answer is going back to the foundational principles. Eat proper, nutritious food. If your body and your cells are nourished, your body can do what it needs to do. It's not what you think it can do. Your body is a well-fueled machine. It has things on autopilot that you don't even know are happening, that are happening just from being in your body. The creator made it the way that he did. You don't have to worry about certain things. What you need to worry about is what you're putting in your mouth, what you're drinking, what ingredients you're using, and to be conscientious of that so that your body can do what it needs to do. Now, of course, I believe in science, I believe in knowledge, I believe in all of that, but if you aren't doing the basics, then I really like, come on. Good morning, Gina. You just gotta be hold on. What in for is better, but since then I have been okay, she's had some other things going on. This week was a bit rough, besides this little stomach bug. When something is on your mind to do something, as I said to you guys last week, so you guys are my witness. It's on the internet. You're my witness. I said I'm gonna go visit somebody because sometimes if you don't visit them, the window is closed and then they start to decline, and the family says no visitors or whatever reason. We went to see the person on Saturday afternoon. They've That day they declined. Saturday morning they were talking and chit chatting in the hospital. By the time we got there, but when we were going there, we had got the call. So my Caribbean people know, when you get a call and they say the person is traveling, that doesn't mean they're traveling and coming back from a vacation. That means they're traveling. They're going on that narrow road that the hymns talk about, and they're not coming back. So we got the call that she's traveling. That means, in layman terms, she's dying, she's passing. We got there, she was not as responsive, her eyes were moving around, she was on oxygen, struggling. We stayed with her for most of the day. People, different family members and relatives and friends and co-workers and closer people were coming in. Not just anybody, because at that point it's only the close people can come in. And we were there talking. Trust and believe. It was her time, irregardless, because there was nothing they could really do. By the time they found the issue, please do your best to keep healthy, because I don't know about your all medical system, but the medical system here, as I kept saying from 5 years ago, and I'm going to keep saying it, you're at the mercy. The mercy. The care is not really there. It's filled with a lot of young people. And yeah, I'm ageist. I'm an ageist. Young people may have all the fangle dangles and the technology, but they don't have the bedside manner and the skills and the experience. Give me an old lady nurse with swollen ankles any day before I'll take the one that just graduated. Point blank, period. That's my take. I want the old veteran who understands, who pays attention to the details, who has the bedside manner, who has the knowledge, may not be the most like tech savvy of the latest gadgets, but she knows how to do stuff. Not sitting there, I'm not a nurse, but I'm sitting there and the person don't even know where to plug in the oxygen properly. The person don't even know this and that. The person's telling us the nurse, when I got there, I was within 5 minutes, I was going to tell her off. Within 5 minutes, I was going to tell her about her what's it. And I had to close my mouth because my dad was there. People are rushing to the room to go and see her. So when we got there, other people were coming from different directions because there's 2 and 3 elevators. It's a very big hospital, very confusing. So you don't always meet up in the same area. So we're coming from different areas. Her brother came, this person came. I need to see my sister. I need to see my sister. She's, I got the call. The nurse said, it's not like she's going to stop breathing this second. If you don't know why they have security at the hospitals, let me tell you, that's stuff like that. Because I would have give her a bitch slap. It would have just been a reflex of blah, punk. I'm like, blah. Just a reflex. My dad was there. I'm like, okay, my dad's here. I was gonna conquer in her head. How are you telling somebody who's you got the call? Everyone's rushing to the hospital, rushing. And of course, we're frantic. And when you get the call, you think they're going to die in the next second. You do. So you're like running. I got to see her. I got to say something to my sister. I got to, and then she's saying, she's not like she's going to stop breathing. I want to choke out. I said, just shut my mouth. Because you getting paid to do this? And I said, I was going to say something. I said, no, Lord. And I just keep my mouth shut. God help me. God help me. Because the old me, which is not even that long ago, and I'm like, this woman. And this is why, like, please do your best to keep healthy. Not only that, by the time they found out the problem with my relative, it was a lot of hit and misses. And we were there talking in the waiting room at some point with other people, and it's not the first person that this has happened to. It's not the last person. There's a lot of hit and misses. Oh, your lungs are clogged. Okay, pneumonia, antibiotics. Boom, 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 boom. And when my church sister fainted at church in the service during the pandemic, during the when you had to only have 50 people or 20 people in the service, it was a very small crew. When she passed out and we had to call the ambulance, and they're thinking, oh, everything was vid. It wasn't vid. They found that her cancer had come back. And the lung infection that wasn't going away with antibiotics, and then delay. And the doctor's just like, oh, this, that, trivializing it. By the time it got to ahead, when she passed out, and thank God she passed out, because that was when they finally, the emergency did the scans and stuff like that. Because when you go to emerge, they do all that testing, as you know, versus going through your family doctor. You get the results same day. And that's when they gave her the news. And that was, devastating. But this is what I'm saying. You go through the system, and by the time they find something, because they're always saying, oh, it's just pneumonia. It's just this, it's just that. Take this. Then you wait several weeks. I'm not feeling better. Okay, then take that. Okay. Good morning, Life with Marlene. I'm not feeling better. But these nurses, then the nurse, another person in the next room, their family. So we had two people in the room that I was going into. Another person, I guess they're also palliative care. The next room, same thing. They must have got a call because the family was coming through. We were sitting in the hallway on a hospital bed that was in the hallway. We shouldn't have been sitting on the hospital bed, but you know how it is when you're standing up, and then you start to lean on something, and before you know it, you're sitting on it. I wasn't sitting on it, but 4 people were sitting on the bed, because it ends up sitting on the bed. Oh, it has to be sterilized. First of all, I don't know why you have a spread bed in the hallway. You should spread the bed when you have to for a patient. That way it's not somebody sitting on the bed. Anyway, she told us to move from the bed, and then someone goes, why are you telling us to move? Why are you telling them to move? Anyways, we went to the room. The room was full of their people. Went to another room. The room was full of their people. The rooms were full. So we came right back. So the rooms are full. Where are we going to sit? We got the call. Oh, you can only have 3 people in the room. Wait for someone to come out. I said to her, they don't know that we're in the hallway, so they're not going to come out unless we go in and say, hey, can 2 of you guys come out so that we can stay? So let us go in. Oh, no. I was like, when you go to the hospital, make sure you have your full breakfast, your full lunch, and your snacks. Make sure your blood sugar is normalized. Make sure that you had a good night's sleep. Make sure you have soft, calming music in your phone, your playlist, because before you know it, you're going to be conking somebody in their damn head because they don't know when to shut the hell up. Really and truly. I did not go there for no war, no beef. I went there calm, cool, and collected. But within 20 minutes, the amount of BS I had to tolerate was just through the roof. How do you tell somebody it's not like she's gonna stop breathing in the next minute? You're gonna stop breathing in the next damn minute if you don't shut the hell up. Anyways, so the brother was pissed off because it's like, you understand that we got the call, so people are frantic. Maybe we're not making logical sense. I'm not gonna deny that, but your attitude, your tone, your bedside, your customer service is lacking. Everything was lacking, and you're ugly and you're pissing me off. So I'm just gonna go right for the jugular, start insulting you and everything about you, and just cutting it down because you're pissing me off. I'm getting agitated, and don't get me agitated. Especially after I have to be try to hold it in. So by the time I hold it in, it's gonna be boom, explosion. Boom. Anyways, the woman passed away. Thank God she passed away peacefully. But the hospital staff, trust and believe. If I do not like going to the hospital. That's why I haven't been, but I should go get my blood work and stuff done. Hello, support with Shalu's Kitchen. It's awful, guys. And that's those of you guys who know it's awful. They have you waiting for hours and you're already not feeling well. Like it's not, they go have you going around in circles. Some of them have you in the hallway because there's nowhere for you to. It's bad, 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 bad. So do not end up in the hospital, please. And if you feel to go visit somebody, go and see them. There's a reason why, because in that same day, it just went like that. She was fine and then boom, gone. What somebody told me when we're there waiting and talking amongst ourselves is that over the last couple of weeks she's been calling different people, people that maybe she had a falling out with, and things that maybe weren't left in a good place. She went and she called people and had a conversation and settled the matter. And somebody was saying, stop being on the phone, you gotta rest, you gotta rest, you gotta rest. And the other person said, no, let her do what she feels she needs to do because there's a reason why she's doing it. When I got there, the daughter said, it's her mother who was passing. Thank you, Marlene. The mother called somebody and said on Saturday morning, come and see me now, because if you don't come and see me now, you're not going to see me. So she knew. That's why she was moving the way she was moving for the last few weeks. She got everything in order. She got everything lined up. She called people and made things, right. She clarified certain things. She all kind of stuff she was doing and making things right. But she called somebody on that day and said, if you don't come and see me today, you're not going to see me. The person rushed over and saw her when she was still communicating and good, because by 1:00, she was just like, wasn't in a coma, but she wasn't doing too good at all. I saw so many people refuse service just because of the timing of the service. And yeah, I would go to the ER more than anything else, just because they do it's a long day though, because you're there waiting, and they piss you off too. But you can at least get all the testing done. But yeah. So now the focus is on the other family member who's going through chemo now at this point. We were going to go see her today as a family, but somebody's not feeling well in my family, so we're not going to go because we don't want to bring germs over there, because I've been around this family member, so I potentially could have germs too, so I don't know. So we're going to wait, and then she has a treatment coming up, so we're going to wait. Maybe we'll go in the week and just pop in. But we don't want to bring any germs to her. But we talked to her on the phone and so forth. And then she realized why we were so busy, because the other person was more dire. Now they're gone. We can kind of direct some of that energy to her. But it's this, and then I got a call. Let's get all the bad news out at one time. Just one time. Because this is what's happening in the world. People are going through some crap. Somebody called me because they couldn't get my other family member. So they called me and said, can you let your church prayer group know we have a request? So she goes, do you remember so-and-so? I said, so-and-so. I said, oh, you mean from the old time days when our parents used to have like a prayer meeting group, the old time? She goes, yeah, sister so-and-so. I go, she passed, right? She goes, yeah, she passed. So she goes, her daughter, who I know of, but I didn't really know her, has a son with the same name as the person who called me. And the person who called me, her son has wellness issues, and it's a lot of strain on her. The other girl's son also has wellness issues. So she said she got a message saying urgent prayer. That child tried to hurt himself and he's in critical condition in the hospital. So we're like, "Oh God, not another one," because there's been a couple of people in our community who's has a child who hurt themselves. And this is a chronic problem that's happening in the community that people don't really they're talking about it now, but it's still not getting, hey, good morning, Darren. It's not getting enough attention. And we were talking about it and just so he's in critical condition. Her son, the problem is it's not I don't want to say problem. The reality is that when people have wellness issues, they still have rights. They still have human rights. And you can't lock them up in a care center, and if they refuse care, they have the right to leave. And unless they're going to hurt somebody or a threat to your safety, you can't really escalate it. Understandably, because some people lie and say people aren't well and they are well. So it's a fine line and I understand it. But and then people who are unwell have an excellent skill at looking well to other people. And they know how to talk and they're very articulate and all this stuff. And unless you live with them, you don't know that they're not well. And this is what happens. They portray that they're well and then they get released. And say, okay, we'll give them some medication just in case, whatever, calm them down, and then they release them back. And it's a cycle and they're not getting the help that they need. And a lot of the people who are homeless are the people who are being falling through the cracks with the wellness issues. I just saw an article in our local news that one of the homeless camps, and mind you, it's January, right? We all know what year, what month it is. Those of us who are in cold climates know that it's cold AF. Today it's not so bad. It's above 0 degrees Celsius. So it's mild for our quote unquote winter weather. Somebody gave birth in a homeless camp. This is how bad it's getting. There was a birth in the homeless camp. So I don't know what happened, how it happened, how she didn't get to the hospital, or she couldn't get to the hospital, or maybe doesn't have a health card. I don't know what happened. But all we know is this is how bad it's getting. Bad, bad. And we not even deep into 2024 yet. It's bad. Um is evil spirits. I'm telling you, there's that for sure. But there's also I keep going back to the food, the environment, the chemical, like there's a definite connection. And we were talking at the hospital, and even since I got that call about the young man, and it's like with all the technology that we have now compared to when we were children, compared to when my parents came to this country, compared to when our ancestors were here, all the technology, all the machinery, all the diagnostic capability, all the stuff that we have. Why are we worse? Like what we're worse off than before. The only thing that's changed when you think about it is, I guess, the industrial revolution, the infrastructure, the food and the water, because nothing else really makes sense. We can diagnose people quite quickly, but good luck getting the testing. You're in line for 6 months just to get a test. Somebody I know said that uh, their brother had a prostate issue. Prostate surgery is quite quick and easy. It's a laser zoop zap zap. But now, since the pandemic, good luck getting an appointment. By the time you get the appointment for the surgery, you may be in dire, dire straits. And you don't play around with that, because if you get stoppage of water, which we call it, you can't urinate and your bladder explodes, like that's it. So they're not really, they might have you in a catheter for a year or two. So people have to go pay for private clinics to get some stuff done. I don't understand how we have better technology, better, equipment, better, quicker diagnostics, but we can't get things done. People are lining up for months and weeks just to get basic testing. The system is oversaturated. We were there talking. Senior nurses are quitting left and right. They're going down to part time, if anything, or they're resigning. They're retiring. We are losing a lot of the skilled healthcare workers. So when we talk about herbs and getting your own stuff apothecary, this ain't no joke. Even the very medicines that you're buying from the store have bacteria in them. And then you can't pinpoint what happened unless they expose it themselves and do a recall. How many people have taken that medicine before the recall was done? Good morning, Zach. How many people took the medication before they went public with the recall? How many people are deceased because of that medication? I'm sure more than we can even realize, but they're not going to link it to that. It'll just be natural causes, some other virus, and they'll put down something else. It doesn't mean that it's true though. So the 10 herbs that I was complaining about growing for the herb garden challenge, ain't God funny? I was complaining 10, can't we just do 5? Oh, we gonna be doing 10. We need to do 10. 10 new herbs that we've never grown before. Learn about them, do research, make your own herbal teas, make your own tinctures. Good morning, Regenerative Wayne. Make your own stuff. All the complaining I was complaining, but not complaining. I might complain next week. It's just slightly. But I'm going to get my coconut coir and mix to do an indoor mix that's not soil. I'm going to do that and not do the herbs in the hydroponic. And I'm going to be growing my herbs. I don't need 50 million herbs, but it's good to learn. For those of you who were in David, no, I'm confused because sometimes it's David and Broke Farmer together on stage. So now I'm thinking, was it David Corey's live or was it Broke's Monday? I think it was Broke's Monday night, gardening at night, midnight live. Yeah, I think it was Broke's live, if I'm not mistaken. And GT came up and mentioned an herb. And the herb is called the King of Bitters. And he didn't say much about the herb, but I'm going to tell you guys to look up the King of Bitters. It's available on Rare Seeds, Baker Creek. I haven't seen it anywhere else that I can purchase it at unless I look under the other name of the herb, which is called some other name. Look it up. And it has a description on it that, you know, and it'll tell you, so you'll know what I'm talking about. And check it out. It might be worth you purchasing so that you can grow it and harvest your own seeds. I'd never heard that herb before GT mentioned it, but trust and believe, I'm going to be getting that herb or something similar some way, somehow. I could not believe when I read it, and he goes, that's why he didn't say nothing. But it's been used in other countries for other things that they don't want to tell us about. We all need to grow some stuff. I'm wanting to not even wait for the challenge. I'm telling you, I feel like this starting, but I gotta pick the 10 for the challenge but yeah, I'm gonna get my soul together. Those of you who aren't growing are not even just growing. If you're not growing, you're not canning, you're not prepping, you're not storing up, you're not doing any of the above in 2024, you're gonna have to pull up your damn socks and figure it out. Good morning, Carbon. Oh, you have the King of Man Renaissance. When I said, what? I was never heard of that before. But thank God that he mentioned it, because sometimes you think other people know. Never heard of it. 2024, the play games are over. Games are finished. We're done. Get yourself together, because it's going to come to a point sooner than later that we ain't going to have the time to help none of y'all. I'm just being pragmatic, negative. If you want to call it fear mongering, whatever, I don't even care. We're not going to have the time to help you. We're going to be scrambling to make sure that we got ourselves together and get our situation, secured up and our family straight. And you're going to have to watch the old videos and figure out what we told you. You're going to have to watch Renaissance's videos and figure it out. You're going to have to watch, Fifi's videos. You're going to have to figure out how to do stuff and watch the old videos. We're not gonna have time to be spoon feeding you. Somebody asked me something this week, and I said, "Listen here." She must have caught me on a bad day, but I said, "I don't have time to spoon feed you. I will take you to the water. You're gonna have to go drink it yourself. You're gonna have to bottle it yourself. You're gonna have to go and filter it yourself and figure it out. I don't have time to spoon feed you because with me spoon feeding you, I'm taking away from my own research and my own growth and development. I'll tell you where to get the information. Go read it your damn self." And she was like, "Oh my god, yeah, I'm rude. Yeah, I don't have the time. It's so dire. It's so serious. I gotta keep up to date with what I'm doing. I gotta listen to what you guys are telling me. I gotta do my own research, due diligence. I gotta learn. I gotta get my supplies in order. I don't have time to spoon feed you. Take the information and run with it. And if you can't keep up with it, I'm sorry, sincerely, I apologize, but you got to keep it moving. I don't have time to be going back to kindergarten. We got to keep moving forward. So catch up, read, watch the videos, get the books we've recommended. Lydia recommended Khadijah. We know it's on Amazon. Go find her book. She's done all the research. Go do what you got to do. But the people them who are going to be coming one to get breastfed, go find another breast because we're done. We're tired. We're done. We're finished. We're not breastfeeding over here no more. And a lot of you, same thing. It's getting so serious that you don't have time because you got to get yourself in order. And people, oh, you're just don't got the time. We got to get our own apothecary in order. I got to get things labeled so that we can find the stuff. I got to get them dated. I got to get my seeds organized. My seeds are not even organized. If somebody comes to, they can't find nothing. I've got to organize my garage. We're getting our dried goods. We're getting them in the buckets. We're getting them organized. We're getting things. We're not playing around. So we don't have time. If you're in kindergarten, go to the kindergarten department and let the kindergarten teacher teach you. If you want to come over here, you have to have certain foundations already set. Because I do not have the time or the patience to tell grown people how to read a damn book and how to look up on a website. Yeah, we can't. So it's been gentle. We've been kind. Oh, come grow food. We're all like, listen, I ain't telling you to do nothing. If you haven't caught on by now, sink or swim. Let me drink my green juice. Sink or swim. It's too serious out here. It's too serious. You cannot trust anything that you buy in the store. You cannot trust what the medical practitioners are telling you. I sat in the hospital room and the nurse was talking some bull crap. And I didn't say nothing because the family already decided to let the family member go. So it doesn't matter. All this chitter chatter, it didn't matter. They decided to let her go in peace and not keep this machine and all this stuff going, make her comfortable. And that was that. But somebody asked a question. Oh, no, it's blah, 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 blah. Pure BS. Pure BS. They don't even have enough sense to put together anything of logic. This healthcare system, if I know more than the healthcare practitioners and I'm not licensed, we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. There's a big, let me drop the link because maybe someone wants to add some feedback and I'm just here taking up my monologue. It's a problem because it shows you that the people that we're trusting aren't keeping up to date with current information. They're not pushing back and questioning themselves. They're not curious to figure out what is this? What is that? They're not, if we're not curious and still learning and still pushing the envelope, something's wrong. That's why it's called practicing medicine. They're not even practicing. Like literally, they're just drones just doing what they were told to do by somebody else without thinking of if it makes sense. I sat there and watched them. We sat there and watched nurses clean. Well, not literally watch, but they cleaned the patient while I was there. And then I sent the daughter, I said, go in there and make sure that they're doing it properly. And, I would have gone in, but unless I have permission, I'm not going to go in because some people don't want them to see your family members, undress. We're particular. I know that's how I was. So it's like, I said, go in there. And she's like, they weren't even doing it right. I said, hello, who you talking to the choir? Because I don't know. I had to go and do the cleaning myself. and sometimes help the night nurse do it so that it was done properly. And then she's like, the nurse got mess on her glove and is still touching and doing stuff with a dirty glove. You're supposed to change usually the double glove and then take off the first glove if it gets soiled and keep the second glove on and continue doing the proper cleaning. No, they don't clean. If you go to the hospital see somebody, you better go. I put on gloves, the hospital gloves, and I take their wipes because their wipes are more corrosive than regular Lysol, and I wipe any touch points because anything that's there that's a surface has not been cleaned and has actually been soiled by the nurses because these new nurses don't know what they're doing. I'm telling you. The floor isn't clean. The handles aren't clean. Nothing is clean. The waiting room, I had to go in there. And when we got the room for ourselves, for our group, I had to spend 5 minutes wiping every chair handle, everything down. And they were in the hallway waiting till I was finished. And I was wiping down everything. And the nurses are watching me. Anything that was needed to be wiped was wiped. And I even took my shoe with the cloth and I wiped the floor as much as I could to make sure that when we went in there, the room was sanitized. Because hospitals are when they tell you, when a nurse tells you you're better off recovering at home, they're telling you something because the hygiene in the hospital is not good. And the patient from last week's germs is still in the bed. They haven't wiped the mattress. I've seen them. They don't wipe the mattress down before they dress the bed again and do whatever. And these are the people you're trusting to take care of you when you're sick. You better go plant some hyssop and go plant some oregano and go plant some rosemary and king of bitters and get your apothecary in order and figure out what dosage you should use for what person and what it's good for. That's what you need to be doing. Go on Amazon and go order 3 books today and go figure out what you're going to be doing. Because if you can't trust the tussin and you can't trust the cough syrup and you can't trust the throat lozenges and you can't trust the applesauce, and what else can't we trust? We can't trust the yogurt, and we can't trust about 10 things this week alone that we can't trust. Good luck with that. Don't let 2024 continue and you're not taking this stuff seriously. Get your supplies ready. I see on the news, I think I saw on Carbon's Instagram this morning, she has the what's going on in Texas. It's getting real out here. It's getting real out here. And we need to know what's going on in our own backyard. And it's not my literal backyard, but it's close enough because they be creeping over our borders too, because there's a weak point that we all know about. Well, I'm not going to say it online, but there's a couple of weak points that they can literally walk through, like on a walking path. So the same things that are happening are just creeping up over here. Same problems. And the funding is going to these individuals or certain of the individuals, and some of them are being left on the street to figure it out. And the shelters are crammed. The other cities are taking people. They're crammed. The hotels are crammed with people. Like, there's not going to be a lot of money left to support the system when we are old enough to start to tap into the system. So old age security, pension fund, things that you may be banking on. It's good to make plans. I'm not saying that, but you better be careful if you're banking on it, because the way how they be spending this money, they spent $800 and something thousand over here to go take care of some deer on an island when they could have had the First Nations people them go over there and take care of that themselves and call the deer. Then when I watch a clip this week from the group, one of the ladies who was a leader in the First Nations, good morning, Fifi, in the community, said that the meat was useless. They said they're gonna take one shot and make sure that the shots were, a proper shot, so that the meat was, she goes, it was like a hamburger. When the way how they were firing up, they hamburgered the animal. The meat was useless. They paid $810,000 US to have people from the States and Australia with helicopters and ARs hunt with weapons that are banned here that we are not allowed to have, and they're not hunting, they're war weapons, but then these people can use them for hunting. Make it make sense. Yeah. So the meat was useless. And a lot of those groups have the skills and the means. They could have been there and they could have hunted. They could have cut up the stuff and enough sizes for them to cool it, carry it back to off the island to wherever, and do what they had to do. That could have fed hundreds and thousands of individuals because they would have, dehydrated some, they would have canned some, they would have froze some, they would have done all their old fashioned preparations, and they would have had food for a long time. And they use the skin, they use all the tallow. There would have been so much benefits, but they don't want you to succeed. The all of that is destroyed and useless. Absolutely useless. Can you imagine having deer on an island that hasn't been touched or interfere with anything else? That hey, David, that is the cleanest meat that you can get. That is clean meat. $810,000, and have the audacity to use ARs when we're not allowed to use ARs. Yeah, the deer. It wasn't a hunting expedition. It was a massacre. And the hunters across that region, plus even outside the province, would have been more than happy to say, okay, we can make a special trip and we can go and hunt because the population was getting too high. I understand. It makes sense. You're on an island, there's not much predators, so the population got too high. Okay, set up a plan. Every 2 years, they're allowed to hunt so many to keep the population at a comfortable number. There's ecologists that do this for a living. They study this for a living. And you don't have enough brain power to know, okay, every 3 to 5 years, maybe that's not the number. I'm making up a number. We got to go and hunt so that the population doesn't get too high. Oh, no, 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 no. We're going to spend $810,000. I don't think we realize how far that money could have gone if put into something else more useful. 800, that's almost $1 million for someone to come and have fun and it's and nothing was useful. Good morning, Erica. Nothing was useful for the people to use to eat. Nothing. You couldn't even make dog food out of the meat when it was finished. Couldn't even make dog food. This is what's happening in every country. Some foolishness going on, and we need to hold the people accountable. Wayne, I just put a order for 3 more cases of canning jars for dry storage, etc. It's getting real in Texas. Oh, you were in Texas. Okay. Now because of the border showdown with the yeah. And I'm not mad at it. Yeah. This was not right. Get your canning jars, and I'm getting the jars for exactly dry storage. I want things in glass jars. The rat in the back. I put the food away at night, and I put the bucket on top, the feeder on top of the coop. The other day I went in and there's no food, but there was a doo-doo in there. So the rat's telling me I was up here too. Like what? I saw the cat this morning when I came out. He was gonna run. I said, no, meow, meow. And the cat kind of stayed because I want him to be around at night hunting. So, but to the chicken talk though, it is muddy. It is a mud pit out there. I'm gonna have to go today and pick up the pine pellets to absorb the moisture. The straw is not doing it. And the problem is my yard is not sloped the best. We already knew that. Hey, good morning, Howie. I already knew that. It's been raining for the last 2 months on and off ridiculously. The weather is mild. It got really cold, which was actually good. Things were freezing up the ground, but now it's soft. It's 3 degrees Celsius. It's above zero. So the lawn is flooded. Even though the lawn is flooded and I have the run separate and built up with mulch and leaves and stuff, it's gonna spread underneath, and that's what's happening. So when the girls want to scratch, as soon as they scratch, it's like you see a puddle of water, and they're drinking that muddy water. I can't stop them. I changed their water today, and I put rainwater in there because it was raining for the last 2 days. Um, but it's muddy, and the straw's not doing it anymore. I went in there with my boots, and it's just like squish, 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 water, mud, whatever. So I'm gonna have to deal with that today. That's the problem when you don't have good drainage in your lawn and good. It is what it is. So I'll figure that out. 1 second here. I'm gonna keep up with the chat. Has extra. I saw one of our community. Well, she doesn't know me, but I watch her channel. We don't know Miss Hart. She was saying that there's canning jars like out the Yuha Wuha. They have jars and jars galore. She's like, does that mean something? I don't know, but get your jars. I don't need jars, but I'm gonna get the big the one, I guess the 1 gallon ones, so I can put dry goods in there and have a dry canning. Allow guided hunts maybe. Yeah, exactly. That's all they had to do. Guided hunting tours. They could have said, listen, we have a chronic problem. Hunting season starts now, or we can start the season earlier on this location and have people book and go over and set up how they're going to do it, how they're going to preserve the meat to bring it back off the island. I don't know, but there's people who do this and can think through the plan and the process, not go over there with the foolishness and destroy all that healthy meat. Thank you, Howie. Good to see you in here. Get your jars, guys. Don't wait. Like, there's so much things happening and we don't know what's going to come to our door. And when it comes to your door, the people who have been doing this for a while aren't going to have the time to be babysitting you and spoon feeding you. I'm telling you because I've been telling people. I won't have the time because you're going to be scrambling around getting your last minute stuff together. So go and do your stuff now. We don't got time. I saw a few people say that Wally World is putting, yes, I've been seeing it in the American side. I've been seeing it. So I'm stocking up and I'm getting more buckets. Every week I spend so much money and I just get what I need. Somebody gave us at church, they had a whole bunch of boxes of Annie's mac and cheese, organic, and they expire February 2024. As I said, I don't really care. That's going to stay here till whenever. And I had a few, they're fine. You could add vegetables to them as well to make it a bit more healthy. But in an emergency, nothing wrong with that. So we took a whole bunch. Everybody took a whole bunch. Oh, my kids, we don't eat that. And listen, when an emergency hits or the power goes out, you can take your little hot plate and your little hot plate and do that. You don't got time to be cooking up a whole thing. Stock up on your stuff. I actually I reuse most of my jars from what I bought. Yes, so I have a lot of pasta sauce jars. I have I keep the jars. I keep the jars that I use. I get juice and stuff in and I put stuff in there. Seasonings. I'm coming off of buying seasonings from the store. I'm buying my stuff unground so I can grind it myself. There's too many chemicals in the pre-mixed seasonings and it's dangerous. Let's just say that the least. So, and there's other countries who have different values and beliefs systems, and they put things in the food because of their belief system. I'll leave it at that. Do your research. You'll figure it out. It's not hard to find. Yes, don't sleep on those jars. I know Fifi showed a pantry video not too long ago. Get your extra jars. It's very important. Glass storage is the best. Especially in the garage and stuff. These rodents they come and find the food. Those of us who have chickens understand. You get the metal trash cans. Don't be putting nothing out there. They will chew through anything. These rodents, and they will call their family and friends to come over to and they'll destroy your stuff. Glass is better. It's more hygienic. It's just a better place to store your food. The plastic's going to leach into the food eventually. I don't care what they say about BPA free. It's going to disintegrate after a time. Most of my stuff that I drink out of is all glass. I don't do. That's why I keep all the glass bottles when I purchase them. If I give somebody a drink that I made, you get to them in a glass bottle. Keep your wine bottles. There's somebody that I saw on Instagram. I think you guys know her as well. I can't remember her name, but Unica or I think I found her from Gigi's Homes. She interviewed her, and that's how I found this lady. She uses her wine bottles as the to water her plants. You know how you have like a water bottle, and then you have like the clay oil thing, and then it drips gradually. We use like the big plastic bottles. She uses her wine bottles. She doesn't use plastic. So I'm going to start using the wine bottles for that because exactly the plastic is in the sun and it's leaching into your water, into your soil, and so on and so forth. He has 200 jars and more than 3 lid and rings. I have reusable lids too. I stocked up on the last time Ball said that they would be in shortage. I have the lids as well. Like I use the reusable ones for my drinks, but I keep the canning lids. I have a whole bunch of them. And the vacuum sealer that's on Amazon for dry canning is very good. If you guys have seen the videos, people kind of put flour in there, then they put a cupcake liner on top, and then they suck the air out, so then the liner keeps the flour from moving around, and they dry their flour and some of their dried goods because when you buy a 10-pound, 20-pound bag of flour, you got to know how to keep it fresh. I'm going to be growing the most food that I have ever this year with my new outdoor expanded aquaponic system. You can grow lots of food where you are many ways. Folks in small spaces now. It's real. It's real. It's very real. And for those of you, before I want a sidebar, I have noticed a uptick in grants from different levels of government. They have contacted me about showing permaculture, but I don't have the time. So something is up in the world. Wow, that's a good opportunity, but exactly, you don't have the time. Now they want to learn. Um, when your belly burn with hunger enough, what to do? I don't eat that, girl. I don't eat that. You gonna be eating cardboard then. You gonna be eating cardboard. Um, sidebar. I know we talked about the peel on the vegetables. So I'm following a recipe. I was doing it from before, but Yaki, if you watch Yaki Wicked, he has Good Morning Broke Farmer. He has a recipe about the geogenetics juice, which is a green juice. And to be honest, I was doing this juice from before without knowing that it's some special juice. But I add like pineapple to mine and some other things. And he uses juice to heal his body. Anyways, he in his recipe says peel the cucumbers. I don't always peel my cucumbers, but I do wash them thoroughly. So the other day I washed them thoroughly again, and I came to the awareness from another guy, don't use the vinegar and baking soda together because it counteracts each other. So I stopped doing that. So don't put baking soda and vinegar. It's either. So you can put baking soda, maybe with some salt, or vinegar with some salt, but don't put vinegar and baking soda because it neutralizes each other and then it doesn't do nothing at all. So I wash the stuff good, longer than usual, soak them, scrub them. So I was trying to peel the cucumber and the peeler wouldn't catch the skin and ended up scraping the cucumber. And all I'm seeing is like wax, wax, wax coming off the cucumber, which was strange because I'm like, okay, why is it so? Because most of the cucumbers here are shrink wrapped in plastic. So why are you putting plastic on it and it's already full of whatever? Nothing but wax. Now, I don't know if that was the appeal or just the usual stuff, but yeah. So I have been looking for a bush cucumber. I found one on MI Gardener. If you guys don't know, Grow Big TV, which is Garden State Gardener, they have a coupon code for MI Gardener. He put that on the Grow Big TV community tab. So if you're gonna be buying from there anyways, use the code. And MI Gardner is keeping track of how many people use the code, like how many people have come via knowing the Grow Big TV discount code. If you're gonna buy from MI Gardner, go to Grow Big TV. I think it's hashtag Grow Big or something to that effect. Yeah, thank you, Sam. I'm on there. I've never bought from him before. I've seen the stuff, but he will ship to Canada if you buy $20 worth of seeds. That's not hard to do. Trust me. Done pick about 25 thing already. $25 worth of seeds. So he will ship to Canada for free. Good morning, Miss Shirley. Plus the 10% off. Those of you in the States, it's gonna be even cheaper. You don't have to spend $20. I don't believe. So if you're interested in that, check it out. He has some seeds that I'm gonna get. I think one that David Corey had mentioned. I can't remember now, but he mentioned an herb on the Monday on Broke's Live. So I just made a list of things that I don't have. Then I had to go through my supplies, which is why I got to organize my seeds because sometimes you end up rebuying things. And some of y'all sent me seeds, and I'm waiting to do a mail call, not realizing that I have some seeds. I'm looking for some sunflower seeds. Gina's had sent me sunflower seeds from a long time, but nothing's organized. So I have to just do the mail call, record it so that I can organize the seeds and get all my herbs and stuff organized because there's some things that we already have that are fine. But if you're gonna grow an MI Gardner, go and get the coupon code. It's hashtag grow big, 10% off. The code never ends. It's not like you have to use it by a certain date. It's a long-standing code. If you want to buy something tomorrow and then again next month, the code is still valid. You can use it as many times as you want. So please use the code to support the Grow Big and Garden State Gardener, and also get some more coins in your pocket. It saves you some money. Um, and get whatever you need. It's important. If you're in a climate that doesn't have much, like you don't have to worry about the weather so much, and it's not that difficult to plant, just grow it. Most of these herbs just do their own thing. Put them in a pot, it'll do their own thing. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you pay attention, we will see what's going on. It's right now. If you watched Grow Big TV on, I think it was Thursday, or I can't even remember. I think it was Thursday. He played a movie. He played a film. Okay, thank you. Someone messaged me. I'm banging. Okay, thanks. If you watch him on Thursday, watch the replay because the same movie that he played, I also watched it because it was on Instagram. It said give them your email address and whatever, and you can watch the film for 4 days. I watched the film. He went live with it. I'm not sure if it's going to stay up because of copyright issues, but it was a movie that was narrated by Rosario Dawson. I think it's called Grow. Don't ask me the name. I can't remember now. I just watched it. I enjoyed it. It was showing the Girl Guide Scout who was fighting them for having non-GMO products in the cookies. It was talking about permaculture. It was talking about growing in an urban environment. This man was growing in an empty lot and with these socky thingies and building the soil back. One person had this greenhouse, and he is using it to create carbon and then taking the carbon and taking it out. I don't know. There's a cycle of carbon that's happening that's supposed to happen in nature. And all I can say is that I don't have all the scientific lingo, but they're blaming a lot of the um, greenhouse gases and stuff on, animal farming and stuff like that, which is partially true. But the real truth of it is that we've interfered with the cycle. The soil can't keep things absorbed because it's there's no cover crop. It's just dry, and it can't do what it needs to do. Um, and the cycle is kind of broken because we're doing commercial farming, commercial agriculture, and they're pinpointing that as the problem. It's part of the problem, but that's not the full problem itself. Um, People who are doing regenerative farming have solved that problem, and they're putting the nutrients back in the soil. the carbon is not being just evaporated because it ends up in the atmosphere. It rains back, like it's this whole cycle of evaporation, condensation. There are things how it's supposed to move in the old fashioned days. They plowed things and they didn't just clear the whole land, and they allowed things to kind of cover crop on the rest time. They rotated. There's things that they did in the olden days that we think are redundant and useless, but it's actually very important. Let me just catch up with the chat. I was gonna say peel it if you didn't. Yeah, you if you didn't grow it, you gotta peel it. I don't grow cucumbers in the winter, but I'm going to have to, because for me, I juice a lot of cucumbers. That's like very good for my particular health issues, keep me hydrated, and I like it in my salads. So I found the bush variety on Mi Gardener. If you can recommend anything, just send me on Instagram or send me a whatever message, and I'm going to try to find some bush varieties that can maybe grow indoors, can maybe grow in the garage, and I can grow later on in the fall season here, right before it really gets really cold, and still have cucumbers. Um, because if you don't grow it yourself, it's full of gunk. And as you know, the best part, the most nutrients is either in the skin or just under the skin. So me peeling those cucumbers, I'm removing most of the nutrition out of it. It doesn't make any sense. But I have no other choice because the chemicals on them are no good. Fifi has that jar sealer. Yes, that's what I need to do so I can dry. Like I put rice flour, I can put the cornmeal, the oats stuff in there like that. Keep them fresher longer. That's what we need to do to make your food last longer. You want to make your money stretch. Making your money stretch is also about making your food last longer. So you're going to have to spend some money on some of these products, because if you just put them in your house in a jar and you're going to use them gradually, you might find that you're going to they're going to go rancidy kind of. So just spend the money and get the proper sealer, take out what you need and seal it back. When when I'm ordering equipment for my DIY garden builds, DIY solar builds, I'm noticing now shortages of certain things and increased prices due to high demand. Folks are getting into self-sustainable living. I think people are more than I can even keep up with. If we can use a combine with his original, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's one code share 10. I think what happens is if you use Grow Big TV's code versus the other code, he can see how much traffic is coming from the Grow Big. And maybe it'll end up being Grow 15 or Grow 12. Like maybe he'll increase the discounts, or he'll throw in more free seeds. I don't know. But I know that he is the last interview that Mi Gardner did on the Grow Big, he mentioned that like he'll be keeping track of it, and that might offer more benefits for good morning, Nikki, for Grow Big to offer. So since we're all in the same community, most of us should know Garden State Gardener. He's been a big supporter from many of us from day one, from me from day one, almost day one, if not day one, day five. And now he's doing Grow Big TV. He's offering a discount. It's hey, good morning. Did I say hi to G Mom already? Um, just go and use his coupon and let him get the ability to offer us more discounts or something else, because we're all using his discount. And let me just see what else is going on. An increased discount would be maybe, but I'm gonna be going there. I already have my page open with what I picked. I haven't put the order in yet. I'm kind of finalizing because I think I might order some loofah gourd, even though I'm not gonna grow it anytime soon. But I want to have the seeds, and I'm gonna get some kusha because I've been seeing Homestead Heart talk about kusha from when. So I wanted some kusha, and there was something else that I saw, and then some of you guys sent me some seeds as well. I keep saying that, and I can't. They're not organized, so I'm gonna get one of those. I see you all always bragging about those. Mike's Chaotic has those Michael's tote thingies. To store your seeds in, but I want the clear one. I don't like the rainbow bright one. I'm just like I can't stand these bright colors, so I just want the clear one. Or there's one that's like gradients from clear to gray. Um, I'm very particular, so I'm gonna get one of those and then organize some of the seeds so I can find them, like the flowers, herbs in one tote. I want my, squashes and have everything I can find them quickly, and I can keep track of what I have, and anything extra that I have multiples of, or I have my own seeds, I can start to give away some more seeds. But it's kind of hard when you don't know what you have. Hot peppers in one, and get the stuff organized. Yeah, I don't like the rainbow bright. I'm gonna go to the library. I haven't dropped off the seeds yet. I've been kind of laying, and I'm going to figure that out and give them the seeds that they loaned out, and then give them back things that I'm donating. Good morning, Cassandra. I'm gonna donate to the library. A lot more people are growing food, which is good, but I'm gonna take some things this year to the next level. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna cut back. I am gonna cut back. I'm just kind of in limbo because I just sense that something's going to happen. I hope it happens. And the opportunity happens where we can kind of plan a move. Because if I can get something a bit bigger, that I am legally allowed to do certain things like have animals, then that's it. We're going to have like 30 chickens, and we're gonna have some quail, and we're gonna have the garden. And I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna be doing. Have my compost, have my manure, have my fertilizer, like, and have a full urban-ish homestead. I don't want to be in a farming community per se. I don't want acres and acres, but if I have, one or two good acres and I can have more chickens, that's it. Because I haven't bought eggs since I got the chickens. I don't eat that many eggs, but if I was baking more, those eggs would be gone. I wouldn't be selling no eggs. It wouldn't be enough to sell. I'm not baking, so that's kind of why people are benefiting from the eggs. People are getting upset because the chickens aren't laying and want me to give the chickens light. You telling me to give my chickens light so you can get eggs. I'm not doing that. That's not something I'm going to do. There's nothing wrong with if you want to do it, but I don't need to force them to lay. They can have a break. It's cold AF outside. They live in outside in nature. This is their first winter. I don't need to pressure them to lay no eggs because you want eggs. So get off my back. Get off my back. Oh yeah, share the library, Miss G Mama, because they want to have a diversity program within your neighborhood, and that's what's going to help you get better seeds because they're already climatized to your zone. So if somebody else has something that you want in the community, but somebody at the library has donated it, get the library one. That's already built to your climate. And that's what people are realizing. Oh, if we have a diversity within our own city and province, that's better than ordering from all over yonder. And then you have to wait. So anything that I haven't harvested my own seeds, I'm not going to donate the seeds yet until I've harvested seeds from myself. They'll get those seeds. Um, let's see what Miss D's saying. Best herb organic homegrown foods do not offset toxics. Oh, I don't. I'm gonna use microwave. I have microwave, but I hardly use it. I've used it in the last 14 months, maybe 2 times, if even that. Wi-Fi can't control that, unfortunately. But I don't keep the Wi-Fi. Well, you can. That's a whole other conversation. Cell phones, apartment clothes, beds. Yes, but those things are very important. Microwave. I have a microwave, but I don't use it. We went back to the old fashioned way of heating up our food in, I can't give you an exact year, but it's probably 20, if it's not 2010, maybe 2015. Because my mom was in a care at one point. She was sick, had to go through some treatment, um, and they thought it was a stroke. It wasn't a stroke, and all kind of different things was going on. And she came back. She was better than ever. To be honest, she changed her diet. She stopped doing certain things, and we just stopped using certain ingredients. And we all stopped doing it because we figured there's no point of having one person on this special thing and then everyone else is doing the same old, same old. Um, and We stopped using the microwave. So we would take a pan and heat up the food. So the old fashioned way, or you put a special dish in a pot and there's water in the pot and it heats, steams, and warm up the food. I don't use a microwave. I heat up my tea in a pot. My tea mug is a ceramic mug. I have a heated coaster, and I put it on a heated coaster to keep my tea warm while I'm working at my desk. I don't use so that's I think the Wi-Fi just chipped out. Um, that's something I've done. Wi-Fi is something that you have to think about. Some people turn off their Wi-Fi in their home at a certain time, and that's it. Your kids like you're cut off because those rays are flying through your home. Some people make sure that the router is not in bedrooms and stuff. It's in the front of the house, or and some people even have special like a special setup where it's not Wi-Fi. You have to plug in. Your kids have to plug in at a certain desks. You plug in hardwire, and there's no Wi-Fi in the house. But that takes a lot of planning and a lot of effort. But I can see why people do it because Wi-Fi does affect people. They even had a study that the light bulbs, the remember when the coily ones came into effect, not the incandescent, whatever those CFL ones, or I don't know what they're called. They were causing a problem with people. They were having certain health issues, and it was the light bulbs. So I don't doubt it, but we got to do more research as well. Um, fibers. You saying AI fibers in clothes? I don't think I know about that, but I'll look it up. But I know the materials that the clothes are made with and the chemicals in them are toxic. So yeah, like the problem is not just one fold, but if I can control what I can control, that's what I'm going to do, and then keep moving up the ladder and removing certain things. If you are in the States, you should look into getting your GMRS license for communicating. It's only $35 and it's good for 10 years. Spring Miss. Okay, yeah, I think they're doing a Spring Miss where people are giving away seeds to people. That's also good. I am not doing Spring Miss because I realize I have so much seeds that I need to organize my seeds. I don't want to turn into a hoarder, and this is what happened. And then I'm already a fabric hoarder. My whole garage is full of fabrics. I need to get that organized. And I got in trouble with my parents' house. They want the sewing machine taken from the garage, but it's one of those industrial ones, those jooky big industrial machines. I got to find a place to put it, or they're gonna get throw it out, and then they're not throwing it out because I paid good money for that. Uh, that's how I do my seeds. I grow the plants and give away the seeds I harvested. Anyone that would like to try them, okay. Um, G Quat, good to see you. I think Cassandra haven't checked my mail emails. Appreciate you. Okay, so she got it. Cassandra got the package. She's saying, but yeah, fabrics. Somebody came on my feed, but I'm not gonna talk about it today. That's a whole other. I have to do some more research, so we have some more facts. But there's a lot of information about fibers and fabrics, and yeah, I'm trying to get back into sewing. Trust and believe, Miss G Quat. I just got to get my place organized, and I'm spending the time right now getting my life and my house in order in terms of organized, and every closet. Good morning, Rambo. Every good morning, truth and integrity. Every closet, every accoutrement, everything has to like be organized because there's too much stuff, and then you cannot find stuff, and this is the problem. Then the garage, as soon as it gets a little warmer, I'm going to organize it better. But there's a whole bunch of fabric, totes and chests, and a whole bunch of stuff with just fabrics and notions and needles and scissors. I have about how much scissors alone, and embroidery scissors. Like you want to see thread? You think you guys don't even know because I haven't even shown that yet. I was bad with the sewing. Like I was sewing. I could make an outfit, cut an outfit on Friday, sew it on Saturday, and wear it to church on Sunday. I was killing it. Just haven't had time to get back into it. But I want to 'cause I definitely enjoyed it. That's what helped me with my patience. Doing something and slowing things down and having to do a project and finish it got me more patient. And it helps with blood pressure. I heard people who sew have good blood pressure. So I need to get back into it. Um, but I need to organize and declutter because it's a problem. And you can't find stuff and then you keep buying the same things over and over again. and then you have things that you should have used already, and then you put the new, like, it just doesn't make any sense. I found some things in my cupboard that I should have eaten. I ate them now, and then I put the new ones at the back so that, you can have a proper cycle. So that's what I'm working on. So I'm going to be sewing soon, even though I'm not finished organizing yet, just to get the machine oiled. I got to clean the machine, make sure it's working fine, get the industrial machine back over here somehow. I'm not giving that away. That's a good machine. And it has like the auto, like when you start the stitch, it automatically reverses and tacks it and then keeps going. And it has a button that has the auto tack and the auto cut the thread. So those of you who so understand that that's like a time saver. So I'm not doing that. Um, One second. Let me reply to this text. Give me a second. Okay, let me try something else. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. So I am gonna start sewing again. And that's a good skill to have because you can fix things. Um, I need someone who can fix some shoes because I have my new boots and something happened to them. It needs a stitch, but my machine can't do it. You needed like a special machine for shoes. Anyways, I'm going to wind it down because I'm gonna go get that pine pellets from the store to get rid of the mud in the run. I am going to get those totes I'm gonna try to go to Michael's or one of those craft stores, get those totes for the seeds, at least maybe 2 and start certain sections and then do 2 more next week. Cause I can't buy them all at once because those are about 30 bucks a piece, I think, unless I can get a coupon. So the announcements for the week are, um, I think Monday is my Fly family. He's supposed to go last week. I didn't see him, so I think it's this week. Erica, let us know the bunker. And I think tomorrow is Broke Farmer. I'm not sure. I think he's going live tomorrow because he went live on. I don't know how he does the schedule, but I think he's live tomorrow. If not, you won't see it. See the thumbnail. Um, I can't remember where I am this week half the time. This Friday, I know they're supposed to be launching a new channel, which is, don't ask me the name. Gina versus Gina shared it. I think Erica shared it. Oh, is that the channel? Truth in the Chat already? No, no, no. It's not. What's the channel? I'm trying to, Zach. I'm trying to. I'm trying to make it down there in June. Because it's not overly far. I'm just trying to get some things in order. So that's definitely on the list, but I can't commit to like registering or anything just yet, officially. So I may just be an unofficial person that just pops up. But if I can get there, I'm going to get there. Our fiscal year ends May, so I can't book the Friday off for the weekend until maybe, I'm not sure. I think they're going to do vacation bidding in maybe March, and then I'll have to, or unless I can switch and work the prior Sunday to Thursday, and then how to work it out. So it's kind of, I can't really commit. That's why I haven't done it. Because the way our fiscal year works is a bit weird. So, but if I can get there at least on the Saturday, but I want to get there for the women's conference. So that's the Friday. So I really want to be there on the Friday, if at all possible. If not, then I can get there for Saturday and figure it out. But that's the my intention, but I won't have any way to plan until much later, and I can't even plan a hotel yet, so I'm going to have to figure that out. Figure out what's going to happen. So, yeah, but that's the plan. I definitely want to get there. Especially try out some people's firearms, which I'll never get to try over here, and figure that out. Yeah, I think Erica and Zach and Billy have information. I don't know if they put it on the community tab. I know if you're on Instagram, G Mama, they definitely have it on there. RGG has it on there. I think uh my Fly Family had it on Instagram. I think Zach had it on there too, directing you to where to go. And I think you're in Ohio, right, G Mama? So definitely a lot of you all who are in Ohio, even though you're not 2A, maybe, or maybe kind of sort of, have an opportunity to meet a lot of the people because they're going to have the meetup in Ohio as well as Visions meetup in May. So a lot of people you'll be able to actually meet because they'll be on that side of the country. So if you're able to, I know Miss Renaissance met people, Gina met, you know, Bougie met uh Triple Threat, um Virginia Bushcrafter was there. I think so much names. I can't remember all the names, but a lot of people were there last year, never mind this year. So you have a chance to meet people in person. Trinity Arms, thank you. Trinity Arms and Gear. They're going live for the first time this Friday at 6. I think Gina let them use her slot. And that is Jova Q, Ray Official, and Armel. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be 2A kind of prep. I'm not sure yet, but we'll find out on Friday. So um it's been shared across the community on their tabs. I'll put it on mine today. I'll share Gina's post and just tap in, register, subscribe, and tap in on Friday. Um Thursdays is Miss Shirley OG. Planter Garden. I'm usually Planter Garden on Thursdays. I have the worst memory sometimes. Wednesday is Erica, my Fly Family. I don't know if she committed to actual time, but she was live Wednesday. So I think that's the time, still 6. I'm not sure. Gina maybe going every other Friday. I'm not sure what she's doing, but um, Gina's on Fridays, Frugal Fridays. Um, Tuesdays is Tuesdays and well, Tuesdays for sure is African Dreaming and Vision Preparedness. I think Vision goes on Thursdays as well. Unbiased, I don't remember her schedule, but I know she has a consistent schedule. Unbiased. I know Big Rooster's on Fridays. Oh, Tori was on last night, so he's back on the Friday as well. Last night I was with a resilient dad as well. I was just hopping around. Um, I'm trying to figure out. I know GT's supposed to go live. I think he went live yesterday because it came on my feed this morning. I missed that. Fat Guy with Guns usually goes live once a month. I don't think he went live in January yet. And January's almost finished. So I'm not sure, but he owes us a live as well. And um Bayou Sugar is going you're going live tonight at 9. Okay. So Fat Guy's going live tonight at 9. I didn't see a thumbnail yet, so maybe I missed it. Bayou Sugar is going live tonight talking about herbs again. So if you know Bayou Sugar, tap into her. Try to give everybody a chance to get Odom's Homestead is on Thursdays. Can't Stop Walking But Love Mowing is Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. And I think that's pretty much everybody I try to tap into as much as I can. But sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you just got to get stuff done. So sometimes I'm in the bushes a lot and I don't say anything at all because I just can't. If you say hi to one person, then it becomes a 20-minute of hi, hi, hi. And sometimes I just have to hide in the bushes. So no offense, but I'm there sometimes. And I'll say hi just before you say like you're gonna finish. I'll say that like I was here because I have a job to do. I have an employment and I gotta get my work done. So yes, thank you, Fifi, for dropping and drop Zach's. Well, if you type hashtag urban Zach, you can drop your link. People can find you. Hopefully, they already know where to find you. Oh, Renaissance is going live tonight at 7 Central, which is 8 my time. If her allergies would let her. There's only 5 likes, but wait, let me check. There's probably more than what you see, but sometimes it doesn't update. But thanks. Hold on. Um Yeah, and please, we're gonna talk more about herbs as well. But for now, get your supplies. Get your supplies in hand. We see what's happening in Texas. We see what's going on. We potentially can see what could escalate to. Some of you are seeing a lot of supplies available right now. Don't wait. Pack Start packing up every week or so. Even if you have a budget, start packing up on certain supplies and have them in hand. But be very careful because as we know, these recalls be going through the roof. So just be very careful of what you're buying. Good morning, Netta's Nest, Texas. Okay, thank you, Texas. I'm sitting here talking. I forgot what I was doing. Um, and just be very careful. Try to make your own. Let food be your medicine, and medicine be your food. Point blank. Period. It's just getting too dangerous out here with what is happening with these recalls. And the worst thing I think for anybody is to give somebody something that you think is going to help them only to find out that it's hurting them. It hurt them. So let's, you know, do what you can and get your own medicine. Yeah, I'm going to go out and get some more supplies. I have about 3 cases here, but I want the very big ones for the dried goods. Oh, thank you. Refresh your screen. Um, okay. So that's it for me. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. There's a lot of people going through some crap this week and last week and weeks to come. People have family members going through some difficult times. And just be patient when you're out there. Try your best. I did good this week though. I didn't tell off nobody. I didn't trip up nobody. I'm so proud of myself. I didn't say nothing. I'm telling you what I would have done, but I didn't do it. So thank God. You live and you learn and you grow and just get your supplies ready, guys. There's videos out there. Most of us have videos and most of us have shared videos from other people. If you want to know about permaculture, there's food forest permaculture. Please just get your research done. I can't I'm Before I close. I get really irritated when people come into people's lives and we're talking about, let's say we're talking about Cocoa Puffs, and they come, oh, can you tell me about blase, blase, blah? It's not people's job to give you everything spoon fed and research. You go do your own damn research. YouTube University is a huge place. You'll find people all over the globe speak different languages. Some people don't even have English to subtitles, but they teach you a lot about anything. I learned how to change the light bulb in my range. I learned how to change the headlight in my vehicle off of YouTube. I learned all kind of thing on YouTube. Dry canning, water bath canning, pressure canning. I learned how to make tinctures. I learned about cannabis. Even Food Forest taught us about I learned how to harvest my seeds. I have stuff going on. I'm learning all of this stuff. I can't stand when people ask questions, but they haven't even really done any research or started yet. Like, it's one thing when they ask an informed question, like, I'm done this research, but I'm confused about X, Y, and Z. But when they ask a blanket question, like, feed me, give me all the knowledge. So let me sit here. No, ain't no SpongeBob SquarePants over here. Okay, we don't got time for that. Go and research and find out. There's books left and right. I want to know how to can. Guess what I have? I have canning book. Home preserving and canning. Read a damn book, please. We don't got time. If you want to learn something, look in our playlist and find it. Don't turn the topic to what you want when we're in a live. Go and do some research. Okay? That's my closing statements. Have a great week. See you later. And I'm waiting for Carbon Q to do another live. When are you coming back, Carbon? Or doing at least a video, a pre-recorded video? Something. We need some Carbon Q in these streets. Okay? Um, those are called pelicans. What, leeches, bloodsuckers, cockroaches? Bye. I'll see you Monday. Or maybe in the streets. I agree with you. Yeah, read a book. Get some research done. It's not hard to find. It's not my job to spoon feed you. Bye, guys. Have a blessed week. Get your supplies today. Don't make Saturday go away and you didn't get some supplies.